Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Brink of Sanity, episode 315. The 300th episode spectacular is right around the corner.
Yes.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. We're almost there, folks.
Jay, do you know who this is?
No, who is this?
Lorenzo requested me coming back on the show. I am God.
Oh,
And I want to talk to you, Jay.
okay, not Bri. You don't want to talk to Bri?
Bri,
Nobody wants to talk to me.
I don't ever want to talk to you, Bri. I feel like you have no soul.
It's true.
How do you not watch Game of Thrones to the wire? What is wrong with you? Jay, let me tell you something.
Okay, talk to me.
I have a new workout routine. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats. I do them in sets. So I do a set of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 squats for 20 sets. And that's what I do, Jay. Do you like my arms? My arms look really good.
Do you...
You're
do
a
you-
pussy. That should be one set.
Bri, am I talking to you? And I'm God. I'm not a miracle worker. I can't do one set. How would I do 100 pull-ups in one set? That is ridiculous.
Don't you not get
You must
tired?
be a little girly
Are
man.
you questioning my manhood? I am God. I made man.
I'm just saying you built, like, the heavens in a day, but you need a break between sets to do...
Yeah, I know.
I don't need a. God damn it! Look
Yeah.
at my glutes.
Plus, you're also not real, so.
Bro, I am realer than. Screw you.
Well-
Anyway, Jay.
So was the
listen,
seventh day when you were taking a rest, it was actually because you did too many reps?
Why do everyone say I made the world in 7 days? The whole story only has 6 days. I take the 7th day off and do my workout.
That's mostly rest between reps, though.
Why don't they say the world was made in 6 days? And if I could do anything, why did I take 6 days? I should have been 1 day. It should have been a half hour. It should have said God made the world in a half hour, and then I took the rest of the week off because I'm goddamn God.
To work on your abs.
My abs look. I have it. It's an 8-pack now. You can touch it if you want to, only with one finger.
I'm trying to wrap my head
Touch
around
it
why it
now.
takes so much time to work on your abs when you could build the heavens.
The heavens. Listen to me. I care about my personal fitness.
That would explain why I can't get good abs. I didn't know they were that hard. I mean, if God can't even get...
I will come over to your house next week and we will do it. Can we do the push-ups, pull-ups, work out together?
Can we FaceTime it? I don't know if I want you over here.
I am God. I am welcome anywhere.
That's not true.
Bri, you're just so mean. I am going to hang. Fine, Bri. I am going to take Ghost Dog from you and go hang out with Stickman. Bye.
All right. I mean, I think we're probably the only podcast that has God as a recurring character. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you, Lorenzo. We finally listened and figured out what you meant. Lorenzo's like, God damn it.
It's like I waited 3 years for that.
I think it was only a couple episodes ago, but yeah, it does seem like 3 years.
Well, it was 8 episodes ago, so yeah, it was probably about 2.5 years.
Hey, so I also want to bring something else back. I want to bring back, we brought back Jay from Asia, and we will talk about that. But I made a Would You Rather for the show. Can we start with Would You Rather?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Brian, how are you doing, by the way?
Okay. How
Brian,
are you?
Good. Do you think P. Alonso will be Rookie of the Year?
He could be.
It looks pretty good.
Would you rather poke your eardrums out or listen to 30 seconds of Mets talk?
By the way, I tried last weekend. Have you guys tried these like the Beyond Burger, like the plant burger?
No.
You guys know what I'm
No.
talking about?
No.
I'm sure it's some veggie shit.
So it's there are a couple companies. One's called I think Beyond Meat, another one's called the Impossible
Doesn't
Burger.
sound like a would you rather.
I
yeah,
went
I guess
to we took my coworker out today and they had an Impossible Burger there
Okay, you've heard of it.
and it was veggie and it was more expensive than the actual beef burger.
So the idea is these companies claim that like veggie burger, people are never going to switch from regular burgers to veggie burgers. So you need to make the exact same hamburger in veggie form. That's the only way to get people to actually switch, and it's for like environmental reasons because cows fart and stuff. And so the idea basically they wanted to have the same content, feel exactly like a burger. And one of these companies went public, Beyond Meat, and the Beyond Meat, based on this concept, is now worth $5 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, millennials, they don't like to eat meat.
So I saw it on the menu and I tried it. There's fucking no way anyone's going to think this tastes like a burger. It just tastes like a veggie burger. I don't understand. It just tastes like a kind of mediocre veggie burger. Like, it's just like, there's no way we're like, oh, this is just like having a hamburger.
I can't believe there's that big of a market for it.
Well, I think the idea is they think that like when they find the actual replacement, then it will somehow like take over. It'll be a giant, because I mean if you found an alternative to a hamburger, it would be a giant market. In theory.
Well, I would just not eat a hamburger. Like if I said I don't want to eat meat, I would just have like an eggplant parmesan or something.
Well, that's what I guess the idea. I listened to an interview with one of the guys, with the founder of the Beyond Meat, and he said people are never going to switch off burgers. As much as we want them to, they're not going to. And basically, industrial farming, like with the cows, is horrible for the environment. So we need to find some alternative where they'll do this instead, because it's the exact same thing, and it is not the exact same thing.
No, I hear that all the time. My friend's vegan and said she could make me a vegan cake, and I wouldn't know it was vegan. I said, I really don't believe you.
It is kind of like, if you're a vegan, then stop fucking trying to eat meat like meat.
I had a really good vegan like chocolate cake thing at a place in Vegas, and like I didn't know it was vegan until they told me.
Really?
Okay.
Not that, I mean, with a cake. I mean, we're not gonna have that big a difference. But all they have to really do is just make every burger in the world out of this thing, and then just say, no, they're burgers. And then eventually people just be like, oh, I guess they're burgers. I guess they are meat.
So
Yeah.
Just spread the lie enough, and people just be like, oh, I guess it's a burger, and cows just taste funny now.
But it's kind of like they said, oh, it's meat, it's a burger, and you're like, it's a tomato, and you're like, well, tomato's now a burger, okay, just go with it. I can't believe the company's worth $5 billion for a veggie burger company.
I just keep thinking about how I'm still broke and people make billions off of anything, it seems, and I want some of the billions.
I mean, people come up with like that company Peloton. It's basically doing spins.
It's a bike with a TV on it.
It's going public. It's going to be worth like $7 or $8 billion.
Wait, what? You're supposed to ride a bike while watching TV?
Yeah, it's an exercise bike that has like a TV like monitor on it, and you pay to like take a virtual class. So there's like a class going on, and you're like part of it.
The bike itself is like $3,000, and you pay like $45 a month. And this company is estimated, like once it goes public, will be something like I think $7 or $8, somewhere $7, $8, $9 billion. Basically, once it goes public.
So I'm understanding you could not buy a $200 exercise bike and tape an iPad to it and watch a YouTube video.
Well,
or just ride it without anything.
Well, yeah, or use earbuds and listen to headphones. Do you need a course for a bike? Like, how many different ways can you ride a bike?
Well, the spin classes are really popular, and
I don't get it. You ride a bike.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not justifying it. My brother-in-law got like a regular normal bike, probably like a $200 bike, and then they did subscribe to the classes. But
why? What do you do in the class? Pedal some more. Is everyone pedaling? All right, class dismissed. Like
JJ would be the ultimate spin class teacher.
I don't understand. Like, it's
ride
pedaling.
the bikes while I read the newspaper and leave me the fuck alone.
I don't. How many ways can you pedal? Clockwise and counterclockwise.
Kind of like a weird like phenomenon.
They have these places all over the city though, like Soul Cycle, and there's a couple others.
No, I've heard of them all. I just don't get it. Like there's clockwise and there's counterclockwise.
I did
class for that?
long time ago. I did like a spin class at like a gym. It wasn't like anything extra, and it was a good workout. I don't know why people pay like to go to Soul Cycle. They pay like $50 per class or $40 per class. Why they do this? It's beyond me. Like,
Well, what did you learn in your class?
Well, it used to be these things were just included in your gym membership, also.
Yeah, but
like,
what did you do?
You basically go like faster, slower, faster, slower. That's really it.
Okay, so I'm not far off.
I mean, like anything, it's just group exercise and keeps you more motivated because you're doing it because some person's telling you to do it.
Well, just keep
peer
pace.
Pressure.
Go to Planet Fitness for $10 a month and just keep pace with the person next to you on the bike. And
a lot of people at Planet Fitness aren't the biggest. Like, the person next to you is probably you.
Look,
and you're probably like.
There's a lot of out of shape people at Planet Fitness, but there's always at least one really in shape person that's going way faster than you can go.
Okay. So I have to find that person sit next to them and
Yeah.
be like, when do I stop? Slow down already. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm doing class with you.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get the point of paying for a pedaling class. I get like things you don't know how to do, or, something that, I don't know, like different exercises. Like, I don't know, not everyone knows how to plank. So teach me that. But like to pedal, people are paying for that?
I mean, there's so many things that like this company Pinterest, which I'm not even sure what Pinterest really is, but you just like take things from you take pictures from the web and put them on this site, and that's worth multiple $1 billion.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out Pinterest since like
I didn't even think Pinterest was still around.
They went public, and they're worth some kind of they're a multi-billion-dollar company now. I mean, Uber, which is essentially it's a giant taxi company, is worth $90 billion.
And it's not even profitable.
No, it lost $1 billion this year. $1 billion more money than it took in.
We're three smart guys. We can't figure out how to make money.
We're clearly not that smart. We should figure something out. Like, what's our idea? Maybe for next show we can come up with ideas again. We can do a top 5 ideas and run with one of the ideas.
Yeah, I think next week we're going to have to do a Shark Tank episode.
Brian, what's your idea for us?
I've been trying to think of one for a while.
All right, let's have a Shark Tank episode coming up, and we'll pitch ideas to each other.
I mean, it can't be this. It's unbelievable what some of the stuff that's out there that's now like worth billions of dollars, and we do not have any of that money.
I had
a good idea for an invention, but I think it's too complicated.
Let's hear it. Maybe it's not.
Okay.
Like when you go to the store to like return your bottles, or cans.
Yeah.
Well, you always have to there's always like one for cans and one for plastic, and one's always out of order, one's always full. What if you need to make one machine that you just dump everything in, it sorts it out itself and
they have that right. It's called the garbage.
It's called the ocean.
Yeah. That's a fair point. I think it probably is more. The reason they don't have it is probably it's more complicated than it sounds.
Yeah, and the thing would have to be huge.
Are you saying it would detect, or would you just push a button? Like, I'm going to push the can button.
No. You just take your bag and just dump it, and it almost like Coinstar. Do you ever use a Coinstar where it sorts your coins?
Yeah.
You just dump everything in, and it's like sorts itself out.
It'd have
to be big enough to handle all that. It'd have to have like a huge chute for you to dump everything in. So
it sorts your recycling for you.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had that technology, you would think when the recycling people pick up our stuff every week, like they would have that. Like that would be something that they'd already be using if they had it.
Yeah.
I work for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and
does your multi-billion-dollar corporation sell fake meat?
No, but when they come around at night, they have you're supposed to have the garbage bag and the recycle bag.
Yeah.
And the cleaning lady just throws everything in the same bag. So it doesn't even matter anymore.
You know what? We don't recycle plastic anymore as like a country. Apparently we used to send it to China, but now China doesn't want our plastic anymore. And so a lot of times we pick it up and just throw it away.
Why don't we take like all that waste, like all that plastic that's never going to break down and all that shit. Yeah. Take one of our old shuttles and just shoot it at the sun. Like fill it up because you're not going to need anything. All you need is the engine to get it out. Fill the thing up with garbage, launch it, aim it right for the sun. The thing will just dissolve.
That's
And
actually
then
not
we
a
then
bad
we can
idea.
pollute space, and we'll have global warming in space too.
What happens if it hits the sun and then it goes wrong, goes bad from there? They're like the one thing you're not supposed to do is shoot garbage at the sun.
You mean it hits a solar? It like triggers a solar flare, and then we just burn up.
And the sun shoots the garbage back at us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then we get what we deserve.
I don't think Bry's idea is that bad, actually.
I mean, you could just shoot it into space. Also, space just continues forever. So, like, you don't have to aim. You don't have to aim for the goddamn sun.
I mean, do we really want to just
either way.
like start polluting like everything?
Yeah, why not? Isn't space a giant thing of pollution? I mean, it's just like rocks flying everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
I forget which country. I think it's Sweden. I don't know. It's one of the Nordic countries. They've figured out recycling so well that not only do they recycle all their garbage, companies, other countries like pay them to take their garbage and they recycle it.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Like they figured it out so well that they have like no waste at all. But we can't do it.
Well, I think China was taking a lot of our plastic, but it became too expensive. Like,
yeah, but China is like one of the biggest polluters in the. They are the biggest global polluter. I couldn't even go to the north part of Thailand because China had so much pollution that the wind was blowing it south, and people were wearing masks in the northern part of Thailand.
Why were you in we have like a trade war with China? Why do we even bother? Like, China's just gonna it's gonna die as a country sometime soon.
Yeah, they're a mess.
They're kind of a mess. It's not like they're really like competing with us. No one in their right mind would go, I want to live in China over the US.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we go to the would you rathers, because since we anyway, I can turn my would you rather thing into $1 billion idea.
Is there a would you
because
rather?
everybody does it.
There's got to be a would you rather board game already, right?
Yeah.
A would you rather app? You know how like Cards Against Humanity was basically just apples to apples, but like bad stuff?
Yeah.
What if we made like a more adult would you rather? And made it like a mobile game that college kids can play.
Do you know how to make a mobile game?
First step first.
Why don't we make a mobile? Why don't we make a board game first? Like, why don't we do a Cards Against Humanity? But with would you rather?
I mean, so far this is the front runner for ideas.
Right, what do you think?
I don't know anything about games or apps.
So you're saying you don't want to be a millionaire with us?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's the one.
Like a board game. Would you play that with your friends if there was like a really, like risque would you rather card game?
Well, Brian, have you played Cards Against Humanity, or have you played Apples to Apples?
I played Cards Against Humanity. Yeah.
What would you think of it?
It was fun.
So would you play would you rather that's on those, around the same wavelength?
I guess.
Or you could do like a would you rather and just have an apples to apples would you rather, like more like the family could play it.
Right, like the ones I make up.
Yeah, you're not the ones that make it. But I mean, I know apples to apples in particular. We've played that at family gatherings. Like, it's a fun game to play with your family.
Yeah.
Would you rather though? I can see that also, like that being a fun game to play, like the risque one at a bar with friends. I guess I don't. Besides asking each other the would you rather, I'm not sure where the game goes from there.
Yeah. Do one question: would you rather this or that, and then the game's over.
It's a very quick game.
Would you rather keep playing, or would you rather quit? Let's quit and do something else. Okay.
You're like, I chose one of two options. Now what happens?
Yeah.
Now you have to do it.
Now you have to kill your mom because that's what it says in the card. Yeah, I guess you need more of a game with it. So how about for next week, we all think about the Would You Rather board game as well as our other ideas, and we try to each episode of A Brink of Sanity, we will advance our idea a little bit.
Or if a listener wants to give us ideas that we could take the credit for.
If you want to license our ideas, that would be we come up with the idea, you market it, make millions, and you give us a royalty. We'll be happy with that.
Yeah, we don't need billions. I just don't want to work anymore. So a couple million.
Yeah. You know what? I was listening to someone turned me on to this podcast called Choose Fi. And it's this whole part of this whole financial independence movement where all these people basically try to spend very little money and save money. And apparently, like, this stuff is really taken off as a movement. And these people started their podcast, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. And it sounds like they already have 100,000 listeners a show.
We are just about to hit 100,000 listeners after 11 years.
I mean, it's also we should do like something that's like, figure out a topic that's going to become hot and start doing a podcast about that.
Didn't we try that with cryptocurrency and Donald Trump? And
None of that stuff works. Like a big thing is people who are in debt who will basically blog about their debt and getting out of debt or do a podcast. There was another person who they had a lot of debt. They kept just blogging about their debt and what they learned when getting out of debt. And now I think the woman said she was making it was something like some ridiculous, like $100,000 a month from her blog. I mean, she did a lot with it, but her basically got started by just doing this at the right time, and then she got a lot of followers who were also in debt and wanted to follow her story.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but she made like $1 million last year doing this.
She's still probably a cunt.
Yeah, her website's called I'm a Cunt. Okay,
we move this along.
Our whole show is just going nowhere. That's the entire purpose of Brick of Sanity. We don't ever go anywhere.
We're the
Move this
Seinfeld.
along.
We're the
Like,
Seinfeld
move the show
podcast.
along because I'm getting bored and tired.
We never get. There's no plot we're getting to.
See, Mark,
Well,
this-
can we do what we have to do so we can end this soon?
This is why we need to do 7 p.m. shows again. It gets too cranky too quick. It's
45 minutes of nonsense.
it's already
You
off
You
the
said,
rails.
would you rather, like 25 minutes ago.
Okay, so would you rather? Would you rather be, and this is both of you guys, would you rather be how you are financially now, or would you switch places with Warren Buffett and have $88 billion, but also be 88 years old?
Where I am now.
Okay, what about 70 years old?
I'll take 88.
You're still over 88, even though I just offered 70?
Well, you didn't let me answer.
Yeah, Bry's been wanting to die since he was like 20. So
So let's just go with age 70. Give you a little time. You're going to be age 70. You're going to have $88 billion. You'll be Warren Buffett. Or you'll be where you are now. So would you trade the next, Brian, are you 40?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll definitely trade that.
Trade the next 30 years for $88 billion.
In a heartbeat.
Jay, you wouldn't do this?
no.
What age would you switch to? Jay, you're 40 also, right?
Yeah.
It's really sad we're all 40.
Yeah.
I feel like
Considering
we
I
could
started
just
the
have
show in my 20s, yes.
we could have a GoFundMe and we just talk about the fact we're doing the show after 11 years, and we're all 40, and people just start donating money. So Jay, I imagine you would take $88 billion and skip the age 41, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'd go higher than 42.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go higher than 42?
I don't think so.
After we just did 20 minutes about how you don't want to work anymore.
I don't want to work anymore. I'm kind of broke, and I wouldn't go to age 45
God forbid I get old.
and have $88 billion to spend at age 45.
I don't know. I also have a fear of death, and I just don't want to accelerate that process.
That's not worth $88 billion to you?
Well, what good's the $88 billion if you're going to die?
Well, we're all going to die.
I'd take $88 billion if I was going to die on Sunday.
Brian's like, I don't even need the $88 billion. I'll just die on Sunday.
Right.
I could have a fun weekend.
I cannot believe you would not. That would be a fun weekend. It'd be if you had 1 year to spend. You had $88 billion. That'd be an interesting year. Jay, you would skip the 5 years. I'm making an offer for you. 45 years old, $88 billion. You never have to work anymore. You can do everything you want. You could buy slaves. You could buy countries. Anything you want.
You could put your accountant skills to use by figuring out what to do with the money.
You can buy the world's biggest accounting firm and force them to hire you.
You could buy a lot of Bitcoin with that.
Then I could have $20 billion.
You could buy all the companies that make bikes for home use and fake meat and whatever Pinterest is and buy them all because you have $88 billion and put and just go. They're all done. I'm canceling them all.
I could probably pay Drake to like stop making it stuff.
Yeah, you'd be like, Drake, I'm signing you to like a big record deal. He's like, great. I'm going to pay you $1 billion. That's awesome. When do we hit the studio? No, you never speak again. And you live in a country I've never heard of. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, 5 is I would probably do 5. Yes, you
What
talked
about
me into
15?
it. Huh?
I'm negotiating up. I
Fu-
want to see what age. Will you do 55?
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Would that-
about the difference between how I felt at 30 and how I feel at 40, and I don't know if I'm going to make it much past 50. So
But those, let's just say, I guess we got you 48, and you're going to die at 53. Those 5 years would be pretty good though with the $8 billion.
they would, yeah.
They'd be better than the years, and they'd be better than the previous 48 years.
Maybe.
By the way,
Probably.
would that be a good opening question for our Would You Rather board game?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go to work, your regular jobs, or spend a week in a climate where it's 110 degrees every day? Jay, more directed at you.
I feel like I've lived this question.
Jay went to Thailand on vacation, spends every day complaining on social media that it's 110 degrees there and it's awful. This is where he chose to go on vacation.
It
And he
hit,
only wore one shirt the whole time.
the feels like temperature hit 118 one day.
Wow.
I've never experienced anything like that in my life. 2 years ago, I went, and the feels like temperature hit 104, and that
Does it
sucked.
feel like, do they have like a happy face that's crying?
I was about to put an egg outside just to see if it started cooking.
So, again, would you rather go for work and have a normal climate or spend a week in 110 degree weather?
I hate my job so much; it was still better.
Okay. Brian, what about you? You don't hate your job.
What?
You don't seem to hate your job the way Jay does. You don't. Would you rather go
No.
work for a week or spend your week in a temperature that's 110 degrees?
I hate my job, but I also hate the heat, so that's a tough one. I'd probably have to take work.
Are your coworkers still scared of you?
A little bit.
They should be. Jay, what if I'm gonna instead of work, you could spend a week in Astoria, Queens,
Mhm.
or a week in Thailand, which you spent a lot of money to get to in 110 degrees.
Mm,
You don't have to work this week. You can just hang out and do whatever you like to do in Astoria. Versus, what's your address again, Jay? I want to broadcast on the show.
I mean, it was hot, but it was still fun.
Okay. What was the fun things? What were you doing? Because what I
What was fun
observed,
besides sweating?
I observed is that you were commenting on Twitter and Facebook, complaining about the 110 degree weather.
I just posted a snapshot of the feels like temperature once a day.
It seemed to me I was observing that like most of the time you spent was indoors on social media or going to see Endgame.
Well, no, look, the first week we were visiting my girlfriend's parents, so yeah, there was a lot of relaxing and a lot of downtime and a lot of indoors time.
Did you spend most of the time telling you're like, hey, honey, how do I say in Thai? Why the fuck do you live in such a hot climate?
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was brutal, but yeah, I did go see Endgame because I was like, it's 110, I'd rather not move, so let's go.
Now, do the people there, like when I go to like Arizona and I stay with like my family out there, like they're so used to the heat that they leave the air conditioner on like 78, and like I'm dying. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mhm.
So do they leave like the air on like 85 and just be like, oh yeah, it's cool here?
What air conditioner?
Oh,
They
okay.
have no air conditioner?
There was
They have electricity over there.
there was one in the bedroom.
Is there like could you like when you go into like inside shops, like do they have like was there air conditioning? Like, you
Yeah,
go inside a
yes,
store?
yeah,
Is it humid there too?
yes, very.
Oh god.
So basically wouldn't you be like, I'm gonna go find a restaurant and just be there all day Because it's fucking. I can't do this.
I mean, I definitely developed an intense interest in malls for a while. Yes, I'm like, let's
Did you lose like 100 pounds?
let's look at all the malls. I lost some weight. Yeah.
How much weight did you lose?
Only a couple pounds, like 2 pounds, because I don't know. It's weird because my clothes fit better. My stomach's clearly smaller, but like scale wise, it only showed a 2 pound loss. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Would you recommend as a good diet going to Thailand?
I mean, I definitely lost appetite. Like I would eat a little bit and just be like, yeah, I just don't feel like eating anymore. It's moving, and moving hurts right now.
Sounds awesome. The food there is really good in Thailand.
Food's phenomenal. Food's absolutely phenomenal.
Okay. Would you rather have it be Okay, would you rather have it be constantly 20 degrees outside?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
What'd you say?
Fahrenheit?
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
Okay.
I'm not living.
We're in America.
I'm not a fucking European. What the hell's wrong with
We're in America here.
Wait, Kelvin? Would you rather be 20 degrees outside, or would you rather make double your salary, but it's always 110 degrees outside?
20 degrees. Every day.
Jay,
Give
double
it to me.
The Bry's choosing the 20 degrees, which I feel like I want to pick a temperature. 20 degrees is pretty uncomfortable every day.
Yeah, no, I hate both of those temperatures.
So I feel like, Jay, you probably hate the heat a little more than the cold.
I do.
Always better to be cold. When
Yeah.
you're cold, you can warm up. When you're too hot, you can only strip down to so much.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm doubling your salary, though, for this.
No.
By the way, they'd be like, this Would You Rather board game seems to be really all about your friend. It's not really like...
There's an awful lot of CPA would you rathers in here.
It's Would You Rather Thailand edition.
Would you rather the CPA expansion, the Thailand expansion?
Wait, why would I choose to live in an apartment that has black mold? So Jay, are you going to take the 20 degrees or the 110 plus double your salary?
20.
Okay.
I mean, I start getting cranky when it gets above like 75. By the way, my job, you know how they took away our offices and now we have cubicles.
I don't remember that. You took away your offices?
Yeah, they took away my office and now I'm in like a cubicle farm.
When did that happen?
Last year. So,
Brian, did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I never knew he had an office.
Yeah, so I don't even get to see outside anymore. And now the two girls in the cubicle across from me complained that they were too cold, so they jacked up the heat. So now it's a blazing inferno in my office every day now too.
My office is like, our building is fucked up and the humidity is all screwed up. So the landlords of our building basically said, get a dehumidifier if you want it to not be humid. So we have like two huge dehumidifiers throughout the office, but one of them doesn't. I'm all the way in the back, so it like doesn't reach. So it's always like between 45 and 47% humidity by my desk every day. And then then the air conditioner comes on and it gets like perfect for me, but cold for everyone else. And three girls all have space heaters going on in their office.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is like you move 5 feet, it's like 40 degrees. You move another 5 feet, it's like 90.
We don't have control of the air at the temperature either in our office, and so like now with the summer, like now that it's warm out, it's we get to work every day. It's like 50 degrees by like 2 p.m. It's like 70. It's like 80 degrees, and then they turn it back on. Like it's like they turn it on, then turn it off, and then turn it back on later in the day.
Yeah.
And my coworker uses a space heater because she gets too cold.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone does that. Okay. Would you rather make job forever?
A video editor.
Okay, Brian, you get to be a video editor.
Okay.
You get paid $1 million a year, but you have to have a Mike Tyson style tattoo across your face. Like your whole face is a giant tattoo.
I'm gonna pass on that one. I'll take the shitty, stick where I am.
Jay, you get to be a CPA, Jay, or you can be a video editor.
I am a CPA.
So you could be a video editor.
Fine, you could be a video editor that like edits CPA videos. You get $1 million a year, and all you need is like the same tattoo Mike Tyson has on his face.
That's a tough tattoo. I don't think I want that.
Okay, what about $10 million a year? You doing that? 10 million?
I might, yeah.
Okay, but instead of I'm going to replace the Tyson instead of Tyson style tattoo, you get a small tattoo on your forehead of a swastika.
No.
$100 million a year, and you get the swastika.
It's really hard to explain that one away.
In Thailand, you can just go live in Thailand. They're everywhere.
Swastika tattoos on foreheads?
No, but swastikas are there. Do you not notice this?
No.
Because swastika I used to not like it's like a Buddhist symbol and I don't know if it's Buddhist. The Nazis took it from another culture. It used to did not have that meaning, and I think there was like a number of them in Thailand.
Maybe
Am I crazy?
No, I think you're right, but I didn't see them, so maybe they kind of said, "Oh, these symbols are kind of ruined. Maybe we'll use something else now."
Yeah, I know they did. Like swastika was supposed to have meant like it was supposed to. Maybe they're not everywhere. I don't know, but it was supposed to be like a peaceful symbol that the Nazis kind of ruined.
A little
but
bit.
you can. What do you say?
I said a little bit. Ruined.
Little bit. It's kind of like the way, like if you wore a shirt that had a rainbow before, it used to just mean you like rainbows. Now people just assume you're gay. Now you're like, oh, no, it's because of my Thai heritage, and you're like, no. Now you hate Jews. Like,
No, I'm Charles Manson.
yeah.
By the way, my
Okay.
friend posted what each letter means for the LGBT thing, but it had about 15 letters now.
What are the letters?
Let me. I'll pull it up real quick. It was out of control. Like it's too much now.
I'm just curious what the actual letters are now, because I mean, I LBGT, I know those letters.
LGBTQQIAAP.
What do they stand for?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, transsexual, queer, questioning, intersex, ally, asexual, pansexual.
What are most of those?
Yeah, this is too much.
What questioning is now a thing? Like you're just supposed to identify it as like, I don't know what I am.
This is why I don't go past T, because now it gets ridiculous. Questioning. How about figure it out, and then we'll put you into one of the other buckets.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm being
insensitive
about that. It's just like, if you're questioning, let us know when you figure it out, and we'll gladly put you into one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the gender thing. Like maybe they could just have the thing.
Like they don't ask you that when you're like single, married, questioning.
Well,
You're
eventually,
Yeah, or anything
single or
else.
married.
Like, do you want the steak or the chicken? You're like, well, I'm not sure yet. It's like, okay, we'll just we'll bring you a third option.
Come back when you decide.
Yeah.
like at some point, people are just trying to gather statistics on things, and so when they ask gender, they don't want to ask 37 like versions of gender. At some point, the gender question will just say gender assigned at birth. Well, that will be what the new question will be.
Right.
Because at least then there's two choices.
Mm-hmm. Getting carried away. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, way too much.
Okay. Would you rather make? I'm almost done here. Would you rather make negative money podcasting?
So right
I don't
now,
know, right now, or be paid $1,000 to perform at MSG in front of 20,000 people for 45 minutes. You can perform whatever you want.
no money.
So do you want to be Jay or James Dolan?
No, yeah. So you're gonna get up on stage in front of MSG and a whole audience is watching you, and do whatever you want for 45 minutes. You can get $1,000 for that.
That's not a lot of money.
I have no
What about-
discernible talents. So it'd just be me getting booed for like 19 and a half minutes.
That's for $1,000. You do that,
No.
Bri?
Not for 1,000, no.
What is your humiliation worth?
What if I just sat there and read a book?
Do whatever you want.
Like Andy Kaufman?
The audience will react accordingly. They're expecting to be entertained, Jay.
Right. I just sit there to like read a book.
Yeah. What if? Okay, $10,000.
I do it for $100,000.
$100,000 it takes you to go and perform. Like most people would like die to perform at MSG in front of 20,000 people. You're like, you have to pay me to do this.
Yeah,
like,
but
crazy.
those
Yeah,
are
well, let 'em die then.
performers.
Then more room for me.
The people who would pay to perform are performers.
Brian, I mean Jay and Brian, you guys are podcasters. Do the brink.
I'm not looking for this performance to be the jumpstart of my career.
Jay, you could spend the entire time pitching either the Knicks or Brink podcast to 20,000 people.
I would just sit in a rocking chair and just rock back and forth for an hour. I wouldn't
Jay,
even say a word.
Would you do our show in front of 20,000 people?
I mean, if you guys were there, yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, I would do it with you.
We'll be there, but we'll be in the crowd. We won't be part of the show.
I couldn't even.
We'll
do
be
a
the
s-
ones heckling.
No, I couldn't even do a solo show alone in here. It was too awkward. Like solo shows are really. You have to have like a certain sort of personality to be able to do it.
Jay, was your trip more fun than a week of you playing video games? Playing video games and watching TV shows in Astoria. What was more fun, that or going to Thailand?
I would say Thailand was, but the first half was a little rough.
Okay, tell us about your trip.
Well, first, I have the apnea, right? I have sleep apnea.
We all know.
Tell us more.
Is this
The
a
fact that
HIPAA violation?
the fact that you had to bring this up means this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It might be a little fun. So, all right. So I had the trip. It was a direct flight to Tokyo, 13 and a half hours. And then I had a 3-hour layover in Bangkok. And 3-hour layover in Tokyo to go to Bangkok. And then a 5-hour layover to go to Ubon, which is another city in Thailand.
Oh, you guys, where is that, up north, or where is it from Bangkok?
North. Yeah. So it's 6 hours from Tokyo to Bangkok and 1 hour from Bangkok to Ubon.
Okay.
All right. So I got permission to bring the apnea machine on the flight.
Who did you have to get permission?
The airline. So
Did
I
you
contact-
like call? Do you excuse me, Delta? Is it okay if I dress like Bane for the flight?
Pretty much. I called them. I explained the situation. They said they're familiar with CPAP machines and it's no problem. So I get on the flight and I look and there's a outlet in the TV monitor, right in front of your seat, but it's a USB input.
Oh, you need to plug this into like a regular.
It's a regular plug. Yes.
You didn't think about the fact, like, a lot of flights don't have like outlets for you.
Yeah. Well, they said, plug it right in. It's no problem. So,
So they were like, plug it in. We assume it uses USB.
So if you do the math, that's I have 37 hours before I can sleep because you have to get there like 3 hours early, and then all the flights, and then the layovers, and then getting to where we're going.
It was 37 hours of travel to get there?
Yeah, because so I think so. Let's do the math. I have to wake up an hour earlier to make sure I'm packed. You have to get there like 3 hours early, so we're up to 4. It's a 13-hour flight, so that's 17. 3-hour layover, so we're at 20.
20.
6-hour flight, 26. 5-hour layover, 31. 1-hour flight, 32. And another 2
Would you
hours before I
rather
could sleep.
death or that? I would take death every time. Every time.
You really wouldn't choose just staying in Astoria?
If I
and
was on
not
that plane,
going?
I would have just opened the door and let the plane just evaporate.
Okay,
It
so
takes-
Why didn't you
Okay.
just? Why didn't you go to Japan and stay in Japan for a day so you didn't have to do that for 37 hours?
Jay, I have an idea. Next time your girlfriend says, let's visit my parents, go, hey, let's Skype them instead.
Tell them to come here. That's what I
You
would
can
say.
FaceTime them.
okay, so when we're going back from Bangkok to Tokyo, we
We
tell
didn't even
wait,
get
wait.
there yet.
Hang on. You flew 37 hours to get to 110-degree temperature. Why didn't you just fly to the sun?
Yeah, with the garbage.
Yeah, you could be in the garbage like the bus driver for the garbage.
I'll get to the rest of the trip in a minute, but
I just want to so this you couldn't use the CPAP thing on the flight.
this is where I'm going with this.
Well, I
Okay.
have a question. Generally, do you need the CPAP thing to sleep at all times?
I have onset sleep apnea, so like there's two kinds. There's one from being fat, and I lost a little bit of weight, so I don't have that one anymore. But
But did you get the surgery?
I did get surgery too. That helped. That cleared out. So I got my tonsils and uvula removed. So,
By the way, do you snore still? Or
no, I don't.
Yeah, my wife would like me to do the surgery. Go on.
So my airway's open. I don't have that kind of apnea, but there's an essential kind where the second you fall asleep, like that transition period,
Mhm.
that's when I stop breathing, and that's not like a fat thing. That's like a neurological thing. So that's what I have.
Wait. So how long do you not breathe?
Long enough to wake me up.
Oh, so you go to sleep and you wake up. Like, can you?
That moment,
don't-
that exact moment that you fall asleep, I just stop breathing and I jolt awake.
If you don't have the CPAP machine, you just can't sleep.
Right. I can't nap. I can't do anything.
This is your existence.
Yeah.
And
Why-
you don't, and you wouldn't take $88 billion to be 78 years old.
Yeah. Why are you afraid of death, dude? Your life doesn't sound so much better.
You should be afraid of life.
I'm afraid of
What do you
napping.
think's gonna happen in death? At least in death, you'll go to sleep.
I used
Yeah,
to be able
really.
to nap. I don't know when this happened. Anyway, so
I'm thinking about things that would be ultimate nightmares. Losing the ability to sleep anymore would be that'd be a bit of a nightmare.
it's not good. It's not good.
Is there a cure for this thing?
I think it's stress related because I notice it gets worse when I'm stressed and better when I'm not. But I've been stressed for so long, it's just kind of always there now. But I think when I get a new job, I won't be studying anymore. I'll have a new job. I think it might get better.
Sir, why are you interested in our company? Well, I really want this job so I can sleep. I'm sorry, sir. What do you mean? Well, I feel like if I get this job, I'll finally be able to sleep. Do you know I try to sleep and I wake up every time I close my eyes, I wake the fuck up because I stop breathing. This is my life, sir. Give me this job.
Pretty much. All right, so I have to skip. I'll go back to the Thailand part, but
Okay.
I have to skip to this part. So we're going from Bangkok back to Japan, and I tell them again, I have this machine. I wasn't able to plug it in last time. Do you have like a converter or something?
By the way, if I was with you, I would tell the airline. I'd see you. I tell the airline that's probably a bomb, just to see what happens.
We'll get there too. So, yeah. So I'm explaining to them. I said I couldn't use it on the way there, and blah blah blah. And they said, "Did you look under your seat?" I said, "Why would I do that?" And they said, "Because there's a plug there."
Oh.
Because that's where your life preserver is.
So you did not sleep on the whole flight there. What do you do for 37 hours of not sleeping?
I watched like every movie. There's a lot of movies.
Okay.
A lot of movies. I
Anything
watched.
good?
So you went 37 hours without sleep and then went to a place where it's 113 degrees, so it's impossible to sleep.
Pretty much.
And then afterwards, they're like, "Oh, the plug was right there."
And you call that a vacation.
Yeah.
What is your next vacation?
Jay,
You're
you
gonna
know
go-
what? Thailand Airlines, they have CPAP machines right under the seat. You just pull right out.
Yeah, so I could have slept, but I didn't.
Actually, if you just asked on Thailand Air, we actually fix neurological whatever the fuck you have.
Yeah, you could have just asked tell the pilot to pull the thing so the mask come down, and then you could have slept.
So I ended up watching Aquaman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Baby Driver, Creed 2, Lego Batman, and the whole first season of Barry.
Okay, what do you recommend?
Baby Driver was awesome. Lego Batman was really good.
Okay.
And Barry's a good show. Bohemian Rhapsody was okay. Creed 2 was okay. Aquaman sucked.
Okay. I mean, that sounds about right. Creed 1 wasn't very good, so I don't know why Creed 2 would be good.
It was a little better than Creed 2. Then Creed 1, but it was
Okay.
It's not that good. It's like the sixth best Rocky movie.
Okay.
Since you were the only one awake on the flight, did they ask you to fly the plane at all, or?
that actually be a great. You should be a long haul truck driver, because then they'd be like, you'd be like, hey, where's the plug? Oh, there's no plug. So you're gonna drive for 38 hours straight because you can't fall asleep. You're a perfect driver.
The plug is in California. Go get it.
Okay, so you guys are gonna like this part. So we get to
I like every part so far.
we get to Thailand, all right, and my girlfriend's like, tomorrow I promised my friend we'd go visit his temple.
Okay.
I said, all right, that's fine.
Temple of Doom.
She said we have to get up early. I said, all right, that's fine. She's like,
I'm not sleeping anyway.
It's a 5-hour drive.
All right.
Wait, you got there, and it's 110 degrees, and the first thing you're told is we're gonna drive 5 fucking hours.
Yes.
On like a scooter or a real car, or?
Are you sure you wouldn't have just want to be at work the whole week?
So, that's why I said the first part was a little rough.
Holy shit! Does the car have air conditioning, or do you just turn the heat on just to make the shit worse?
that was...
car. I'm sorry, Jay. The car only blasts heat, and it just plays. We can't seem to turn off Drake. It just plays Drake the whole way.
That was when I was trying not to snap. It's like 5 hours each way. All right.
What was the 5 hours back to Bangkok? Like
no,
where,
it was. Then we went west.
Okay. How much different is it there? Like the 5 hours, like is at least you saw something cool?
Yeah, I mean the temple was amazing. It was deep into Thailand where there's like no tourists, so like people were actually like coming up to me and like comparing their arm skin color to mine, like putting their arm against mine to see how much whiter I was, because I was like the palest guy they've ever seen. And like I saw a couple people like take a picture. Like,
did they compare bags under your eyes?
Yeah, at that point there wasn't much sleep.
They're like, this is a man who doesn't sleep. I'm man. Yes, it's great.
And then somewhere along the line, you found out about the Knicks, right, in the lottery.
Oh yeah, no. Did I mention that I had mild food poisoning the night before? So I was.
Are you kidding me?
No, the night before the 36 hours of being awake, the night before the flight, I was up all night just crapping my brains out. So I got almost no sleep before the 36 hours of no sleep.
Jay, is there anything you do in your life that works out?
And you would turn down $88 billion to be 70 years old. How could anything be worse than it is now?
Jay, you should be 70 without the $88 billion.
Jeez.
How much worse? At least you'd be dead sooner.
Did you have to shit on the plane? That's what I want to know.
No, that was the crazy thing. It was like nonstop there and in the morning, but I just kept popping Imodiums and like it cleared up right in time for the flight. So
you didn't shit for 37 hours either?
I went in the, I had to go.
Wait, the food poisoning's right before the flight or after?
The night before the flight, yeah.
Of course.
Jay, that was your body telling you don't go on this trip.
I know. No, so
I mean,
I was able to time it where like I just ended up shitting like at the airports during the layovers.
Oh, I've got this shit down, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good coordination. Yeah, good way to make it work.
Yeah.
You should. This is your blog. This is what you should be doing, Jay. Is blogging about your travels.
True. Okay, so we finally get back from the temple excursion.
Was Indiana Jones there?
No, I mean, I think my girlfriend sensed that I was not happy, so she got a hotel in that town wherever the temple was. So we got to go to like street.
How was the? I imagine so you're going to non-touristy area. What's the hotel? Is it like a normal hotel?
Yeah, it was a nice hotel. It was nice.
Okay.
There was air conditioning. The beds were nice, comfy. We got to go to like
can't wait to hear what goes wrong here.
We got to go to like a local street fair and stuff like that.
It burned down that night.
Not everything is going to be a travesty.
Jay, you didn't go on vacation with Chevy Chase, did you?
I know, they should just make a National Lampoon's like Jay's Adventure.
National Lampoon's Thai Adventure.
Yeah, and I mean, not everything I did is a train wreck. Just some of it.
Jay's like, anyway, so the U.S. government had to get me from custody there because they had locked.
Although we did go to a street fair, and one of the people was selling like 3 different kinds of bugs. It was just like a basket of like fried crickets or whatever.
Oh, like for eating?
Yeah, I wasn't into that. I did not do
Yeah.
that. I was like, can we move on to like the Penang curry cart, please?
Okay. Would you eat the bug? Like, would you try one of them?
No, I wasn't having that.
Would you try one for
Jay
like?
didn't want to ruin his vacation by eating
Yeah.
a bug.
You've already thrown up like from eating normal food. Jay, for $10, would you eat one of those?
No.
What
Jay,
about?
for a plug on the airplane? Would you eat one of those?
I can't believe there was a socket right next to me. It's
I
ridiculous.
can.
Jay, you get paid $1 million a year. You get to be a video editing CPA superhero, but you can only live on those bugs for a year.
$1 million a year?
$1 million a year, but the only thing you eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is bugs. They're fried. You could throw. I tell you what, for dessert, you can throw ice cream on them.
I might do that.
Okay.
$1 million a year in perpetuity, or just that 1 year?
Whatever, Jay. Sure.
If it's
Either one.
if it's a ongoing $1 million a year, then yes.
As long as you want to eat the bugs, you can
Oh
get
no,
the
the
$1 million.
bugs keep going as long as the salary goes.
Yes. Be like, I have enough money.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that.
Wouldn't it be great if Jay's like had to complain about every day he's complaining about his job because he had to eat bugs all day? You went to for 1 full year? $1 million would change your life, Jay.
I know. I don't know how the bugs taste.
I mean, they're selling them by the basket in like Thailand. It can't be that bad.
But I mean, when I went to Laos, they were selling frogs in a basket. It doesn't mean they're good.
Well, that's my next question. Yeah, okay, fine. You can eat frogs and bugs. All like variety. You can like spice of life there.
Okay, so we get back to her parents' place.
Yeah.
And as I've mentioned, it's quite warm. So I was using baby powder, and I was putting it in the crease of my legs because you get really sweaty and I didn't want to get a rash or whatever.
Sounds amazing, this trip. Go on.
Okay, so they have a lot of different powders there. That I
Oh boy.
didn't realize they weren't all baby powder.
Oh boy.
And
What the fuck did you do to yourself?
I grabbed the icy hot powder by mistake.
You sure this wasn't like Chevy Chase? Say that last
Jay, you gotta hook me up with your travel agent.
So yeah, I put on a big old bunch of that, and then my balls started burning. And
I was gonna joke you could put it on your balls, but you did put it on your balls.
Well,
Wow.
I put it on the crease of my legs. It's pretty hard not to get on your balls when you're.
Yeah, fine. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just standing like in one of the rooms in a state of panic, not knowing what to do, and my girlfriend comes in and asks what's wrong. And I start whispering to her as if her parents could understand what I'm saying anyway, because they don't speak any English. And
Oh, they speak no English? Okay. Go on.
they know like a couple words here, and they know as much English as I know Thai. You know.
They don't know burning balls.
Yeah. They they know like hello
They
and
might
good night
now.
and whatever. But they definitely don't know I put powder on my balls and it's burning and I don't know what to do. They don't know that part.
My balls are on fire. What don't you understand?
I want to dip my balls in it.
These balls, icebox, give me ice.
So, what do you think she did?
She
Blew you.
this is Jay's life, so no. She laughed really hard, told the entire neighborhood.
Oh, almost exactly. She laughed really hard and then went in the
Said
other room.
walk it off.
Laughed really hard, then went in the other room and told her parents.
She put it on Instagram.
And I almost killed her parents. They were laughing so hard they were like literally choking, and they thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Again, why didn't you post it? You were like, weren't you like Instagramming / like blogging, like posting your adventures on Twitter?
What
This shit you don't put on there?
What do you want me to
No.
put a picture of balls with powder on it?
That'd be amazing.
Want to get famous, Jay? You gotta burn your balls.
At least we might have some more follows to our Brink account if you put
Yeah.
like, my balls are on fire now, don't know what to do,
Yeah, put a picture of that and say, tune in to Brink of Sanity on whatever day, and I'll tell you the story.
My balls are on fire at Icy Hot.
Yeah, so that part of the trip wasn't fun.
It doesn't sound like any part of the trip was fun.
Yeah. What was the good memories from this trip?
All right, so well after that, then we had a lot of downtime. So that was just like going to malls, going for walks, and like just relaxing.
Relaxing at 110 degrees, going
Yeah,
for
nothing
a
like
walk.
walking in the heat.
Well, no, the walking was like
With
in the evening
burning
when
balls.
it got down to like a cool 90 degrees.
Awesome.
Although that's when the mosquitoes come out.
The malaria.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Go on.
No, so then, okay, so we were there for like a week, and then we went to Bangkok for a couple days, and so that part was good. That was some more sightseeing, hanging out with friends, going to restaurants, and Bangkok gets really shady if you go like a block in the wrong direction.
I thought Bangkok gets really shady if you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what's
don't know.
not shady about Bangkok?
Huh?
What's not shady? Isn't Bangkok itself just a shady place?
I think it is, yeah. Well, I didn't realize because I went to like the last time I was there, I was only there for a day, and I was in like a really like touristy area, and
Yeah.
this time I was like, I'm gonna like my girlfriend had I don't know, her ankle was sore, so I'm like, all right, I'll go out and get a bag of ice, and so I went.
What happened to her ankle? Were you guys like attacked?
She put Icy Hot on it.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it.
You know, a wild monkey bit her. She has rabies. She's dead now. Actually, it's part of the trip. Anyway, trip got better from there.
But the hotel we're staying at was like on a street with like nothing else. So I went a couple blocks. I
The
turned.
hotel you're staying at doesn't have ice.
No, they didn't for some reason. It was really weird.
Okay.
So I walked a couple blocks and I found this street with all these like bars and stuff, and I'm walking down it and it's like super shady. Like people keep walking up to me and trying to get me to do stuff, and it's like
Did
very
you stuff
uncomfortable.
like what?
Sleep.
Like, I don't know, just like come this way, and I'm just like absolutely not. Like like just or is just motioning me to come over, and like I don't know what's going on. I knew like don't follow anybody's instructions. Like
Where are you? Everyone's just like, hey, come this way. Come this way.
I
come
can
this way.
see Jake like walking with a bag of ice, like clinging to it, like it's the only thing he owns, and people like coming out of the woodwork. Hey, come over here.
yeah, it was
No,
real shady.
must bring ice.
Wait. If I come with you, will there be icy hot in my balls?
Well, I mean, some of the bars had like an open front, and there's just girls sitting like facing the street, and they're just all trying to get you to come in there. So like,
Oh, just trying to basically recruit customers / like murder victims.
right, and then there's people in the street trying to sell you stuff, and God knows what else was going on over there. But it was just chaos. I was like, I am gonna get back to the hotel as quickly as possible.
So Kat's like, oh, you took a little while. It was torn. I don't want to go back outside. Don't go back outside. Don't go back outside.
Yeah.
She's probably like, I sent him to get ice, figuring he would fall victim to one of those people and get killed. And here he is with the ice.
He just keeps coming back.
Now I'm stuck with him for the rest of this trip.
Oh, you're back. This insurance policy I bought on your life is not going to work out very well.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, she's like, I hid the plug so he couldn't use the CPAP machine. I forced him to drive 5 hours when we got there. It's 110 degrees. Why would he fucking die?
We're up to Plan C on Kill Apnea Boy.
I poisoned him the night before the trip. Fucking just shit a couple times and he's fine.
Okay, so I think that pretty much covers the Thailand portion of the trip.
Holy crap. Hey, by the way, when you meet people there, they ask you what you do. Do you say, I'm a CPA?
No, most people don't really be like, "Hey, white boy, what do you do?"
Did you at any point did you tell Thai people that you were a CPA?
Yeah, well, a couple of my girlfriend's high school friends know English,
Okay.
so yeah, I was talking to them.
Did you tell them you're a CPA?
Yeah,
Okay.
they
they
weren't
did-
impressed because they all own their own businesses and they're all millionaires. So
Really?
Yeah.
Are you
No. We had dinner with like 3 millionaires. So they weren't too impressed about my CPA.
were you like, so you guys are getting the check, right?
Yeah.
Why did your girlfriend leave there and come to America and meet you?
Well, they weren't millionaires when she left.
Oh, all right.
But one of them was like, one of those guys where you're like, yeah, he's not going to amount to much. And then 20 years later, surprise.
Millionaire.
What did they do? What were their business? They were millionaires in Thailand, obviously. What were their businesses?
They make plugs that convert power for CPAP machines
Oh, it's a CPAP machine you can plug into a USB port.
on a plane.
One of them is real estate. One of them is jewelry. And I don't remember.
And the other one makes icy hot powder.
I don't
Did
remember what
she-
the third one is.
Did she constantly use the Thai word for my boyfriend's a moron and doesn't have millions?
She's like, hey, I have my own business that makes 20 million a year. Oh, my boyfriend put icy hot powder on his balls and shit himself on the plane.
My
He's gotta-
boyfriend paced around on an airplane for 13 hours because he couldn't sleep.
The plug's right there. Cat, stop talking to me. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Jay, when you couldn't sleep on a plane, did you ask the flight attendants if they needed any help giving out the drinks or anything?
I should have.
If I couldn't sit there, if I sat there and I couldn't sleep for that long, I'd just be like, put me to work. Like, here, who wants a drink?
You should have gone around like that site Fiverr. You should have been going out asking people they want random tasks for $5. Sir, I noticed you're awake as well. Do you have anything I could do for you for $5? And no, I don't want to blow you, sir. That'd be $6.
Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to become a billionaire. Would you play a board game with your family called Would You Rather?
Okay, yeah. So you answer a question. Would you rather? What do you do next? I don't know.
You answer it and the game is over.
So really, you could play a lot of games in a night.
Oh my god.
So
Okay, so
I also found out on the way home when I was using the CPAP machine that if you use a CPAP machine sitting upright, instead of blowing air into your lungs, it blows it right into your stomach. So that's fun.
wait, what?
The CPAP machine. For some reason, when you sit up, like you have to do on a economy flight, the air kind of ends up going into your stomach.
Wait, where's the air? The air goes into your what the hell is a CPAP? What do you put something in your mouth?
No, you put it on your nose, but I don't know. I don't know how it worked. I had air going into my stomach.
No, I'm saying the air gets shot into your nose,
Yeah.
and normally when you're laying down, where does the air go?
Into your lungs.
Okay, but now it ends up in your stomach like you're having a baby?
Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
Maybe you're not sleeping because you're not wearing it right.
Yeah. Maybe you should read the directions, Jay.
Maybe.
Wow.
All
Your
right.
trip
So,
sounded goddamn amazing.
So you're glad to be home, are you?
And you paid for this experience? Saved
I-
up money for this experience?
paid a good amount of money for this, yeah.
I mean, I guess this still beats using the money for crypto coins.
Yeah, no, it does. Okay, so I get to Japan,
Okay.
and did you guys see my Airbnb video?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, assuming the audience has not seen it, could you explain?
Yeah, so we got an Airbnb because last time we got one, it was great. It was a good size. You rent the whole apartment. It's like a third the price of a hotel, and
How much does it cost? Like, how much is a hotel versus a Airbnb?
well, last time we booked really far in advance, so it was like 60 a night, and we were in like the coolest part of Tokyo.
Oh,
So
that was the Airbnb.
Yeah. So this time we planned the trip a little later, so we didn't book the Airbnb until like less than 2 months before the trip. And
Okay.
then the first place we booked canceled with no explanation. So now we're, like 6 weeks out. So our options are very limited. So we got one that looked nice. It was a little over 100 a night, 105 a night, I think. And so we get there, and it's in the location we want. I open the front door, and we put our bag down, and it fills up the whole Airbnb. The the living room was the size of like one large piece of luggage, and I don't think I'm exaggerating too much on that one.
So on like there was no square footage, say, on the Airbnb
No,
website.
it said cozy, which should have been a red flag, but all Japanese apartments are very small, so I figured it's
And
just
you'd already been through this and you got a nice one, so
yeah. I figured cozy, fine. Maybe it's slightly smaller, but this was okay. So basically, if you put down like a small piece of luggage and you laid down on the floor, that would be the entire place. You would bump into the full size, not even full size, twin size bedding just to open the bathroom door. The bathroom was just the toilet, and the door was so close to the toilet that I could not shut the door sitting down on the toilet. Like my knees extended past where the door would have been. The shower was another tiny little closet room, and the floor of that was covered in pink mold. And there was a little loft area, which is where you were supposed to sleep, which was also just basically a twin-sized sleeping area. But the mattress was at a tiny little bit of an angle, so I had the sensation that I was like on the verge of rolling off of the loft area the whole night. And the floors were really thin, so I heard like people upstairs just walking and like breathing. So I got pretty much no sleep that whole night. So that was fun.
sounds like a trip by Jay.
Yeah, so I got up in the
Wow.
morning and immediately just started searching for hotels. I found one like a couple blocks away, and we just moved there. I emailed the Airbnb guy. I'm like, this is completely unacceptable. Oh yeah, there was like hair everywhere. The blankets had hair on it. They clearly weren't
Oh.
washed. The shades had like a layer of dust on it. Like all the vents were covered in dirt. The place has clearly never been cleaned. So
Did you get your money back?
I emailed the guy. I said, this is completely unacceptable. The place is filthy. And he wrote back, I don't think so. Please send pictures. And I sent him pictures, and then I got a refund for the next 3 nights instantly. He made me pay for the night I stayed there, but he refunded the next 3.
It does seem fair if you did stay. For one
Yeah,
night, but
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, I'm thinking he had a cleaning service, and they said they were cleaning and weren't because, you know, he seemed like, of course it's clean. And then when I show him pictures, he's like, oh, shit. So I'm thinking he
Yeah.
never saw the place and just got screwed by a cleaning service.
I mean, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we moved to a hotel, and everything was fine from there on.
Okay. What next thing happened in your series of unfortunate events?
Let's see. I made a list of all. No, that was it of my unfortunate events.
There's nothing else that happened bad? Come on.
Well, not to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is your girlfriend still alive? Is she in prison? Does she
In
have
America?
No, so we
limbs?
went to. I decided to do some touristy stuff. I don't care. So we went to a place called Robot Restaurant. It's a tourist trap, but whatever. It's like an hour and a half show. It's got like robots and laser lights and sexy girls dancing and just all this crazy shit going on. And
Okay.
I think it looked like a lot of fun. So we get there, and there's this. It's all white people because it's a tourist trap. And this one girl is from Texas.
So
And
no one's comparing the skin with you.
No. This girl from Texas is really, really drunk.
Okay.
And I see her by the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, this girl's pretty fucked. And I just made a note of it. And the way it works is there's crowds on both sides, and the show happens in the middle.
By the way,
So
what do you mean made a note of it? Like, are you like,
yeah.
what is it that? Like, that's like Jeffrey Dahmer makes a note of that kind of thing.
because if somebody's really drunk, you want to keep an eye on them to see if anything like it escalates. You know what I mean?
I will watch out for her. I am her bodyguard.
If somebody's that fucked up, you want to keep tabs on where they are because an incident might happen later on.
Yeah, the guy keeping tabs on her might like rape her.
I mean, if somebody's out of control drunk, you Like,
okay, go on.
there's a good chance that something will happen. So anyway, the way the show is, that the crowds are on both sides, and the show happens in the middle. So you're facing like half the audience. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like bleachers in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so they make a big deal about don't touch anything, don't go near the dancers, don't reach over, blah blah blah. So it turns out I'm directly across from this girl. The second the show starts, she gets up out of her seat and starts dancing with all the dancers. And
So she's Drake at the Raptor game.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So she gets yelled at, and they make her promise she won't do it again, and blah blah blah. And they put her back in her seat, and then she proceeds to instantly just pass out. And she's like, not just like a little bit slumped over, like full body on her boyfriend, like he's having to like prop her up. She's like limp, passed out.
You must have been so jealous that she was asleep.
It's so easy. She just drinks. She goes right to sleep. There's no honey. There's no machine on her. She's in the machine. She's fine.
So my girlfriend's like, oh, she passed out. Like, at least she didn't throw up. And I said, yeah, not yet. Because I'm thinking, like, there's loud music. There's laser lights going on. This is not a good situation for the spinnies.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
By the way,
so-
how did you know she was from Texas?
there was a line by the bathroom. So she's just like, yeah, I'm from Texas. We did tequila shots. Like just being stupid.
Okay.
It was the kind of girl where you're like, I kind of hope something bad happens to this girl.
Oh yeah.
I hope she chokes on her vomit.
Yeah. So the guy keeps trying to wake her up, which, in retrospect, was probably the worst thing he could have done. He wakes her up over and over and over again. Eventually, she wakes up and then starts convulsing, and you're like, oh, we know what's going on. Everyone on my side now is not watching the show. They're just watching this girl. And then she throws up all over herself 3 times.
This even Jay has like, oh, let's have a fun adventure. Let's see what happens.
And see, now you see why I was keeping tabs on the really drunk person. This was a show. People on my side are filming her, not the show.
Oh,
How far are you from her? Is it like a basketball court width, or like less than that?
Less than that. I would say maybe like 20, 25 feet. It's fairly close. And like, I'm in the second row on my side. She's in the first row on her side.
Okay.
So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she throws up like 3 times. The guy now is in a state of panic. He has no idea how to handle this situation at all.
Like all over herself?
All over herself, yeah.
Oh, God.
And
Yeah, I think you handled this by going, okay, this has been a fun first date. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
so yeah, she's trying to throw up like you have like they try and sell you shitty food. So they have like a little mini table in front of you.
Yeah.
So she's trying to throw up on that, but most of it is going on herself. And everyone on my side just going, oh, and like cheering and stuff. And
cheering.
and so it turns out this happened right before there's 2 breaks in the show. And so this happened like right before the final break. And so the performers get off stage, and so there's nothing in front of her now. So she just stands up, and she's just covered from head to foot in barf, and everyone's like laughing their ass off now. And so her boyfriend's like, all right, we got to get this girl out of here. So he grabs her, starts walking her off. They leave her purse at the table, and they're just going to leave. So this one guy tries to be nice, and he's like, I'm going to get this girl's purse and catch up with her. So he gets up, and he starts walking over. He slips on the vomit and falls in the vomit.
And this wasn't you.
This was not
Please
me.
tell me that this is like a dream, and this is really you. This is happening to you somehow.
No, finally, the tables turned, and bad things happen to other people. So yeah, he slips in the vomit, and everyone on my side is just like screaming and like cheering for this guy. And then he picks up the bag, and the bag is like just dripping vomit. Like I guess she half threw up in her bag. Like,
Oh, God. I mean, could you have seen that coming also? Like, why would you get her purse?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they're just leaving the purse there. They're done with the purse.
Well, I talked to the guy's girlfriend after the show, and from what she was saying is that they met at a bar like an hour before the show. And so they were like, they kind of knew who they were. And the girl was doing tequila shots and was saying how that she didn't know much about tequila. So it's a really good idea to do a bunch of shots of something you don't know much about.
What's there to know about tequila? It gets you drunk. Like,
tequila is not for everybody.
but it's like, what's there to know? Like, you can't.
Everybody
drink a ton
pukes when they drink tequila.
Tequila is not a shot drink. I don't know why people think it is. Tequila is a sipping drink.
Remember that party in college, Jay?
First of all, everyone's gotten drunk. Everyone's done shots of tequila and got drunk off it.
Was that
You
when
don't
your
end up
ex threw up all over the place?
What?
Was that when your ex threw up all over the place?
Yeah, when she was making out with the girl that you were trying to get her number.
Oh, that was the worst. I went to a party with Brian, his girlfriend, and I'm like, she's like, "Hey, which girl do you like? I'll talk to her for you, talk you up, and then you could go in and pick her up." And I'm like, "Oh, that girl over there." So Brian and I are talking, and then we look over 5 minutes later, and she's just making out with the girl.
Well, no, first they were doing tequila shots.
Wow.
In the kitchen, and then they started making out. And then all the frat guys at the party were like hovering around him in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and then a minute later they were both puking on each other.
Oh my god!
And then I had to literally carry her home from the party.
Yeah,
so I threw her in my bed. I think it was a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday night. And I threw her in my bed when we got back, and she didn't get out of my bed until Tuesday.
What?
Yeah, she got she must have had alcohol poisoning. She just passed out and got up to go to the bathroom a couple times, and it was I went to class Monday, came back, she was still there. Class Tuesday, came back, she was still there.
I was thrilled to see her there.
Crawled out of bed.
I was thrilled that
shit.
she was still there.
They drank a whole bottle, the two of them.
Well, I guess there should be a warning label. This is not fruit punch.
No, yeah.
Holy shit. So Jay, what else happened? Wait, what's that noise? Who's turning?
Oh, it's my mic.
So, I guess the guy and the girl left before the final 20 minutes of the show. Yeah. So I just got the scoop from her friend after the show about the pre-show events, but we couldn't find them after the show, so I don't know what happened to them. I mean,
you don't really pursue them either. You're not dying to fight. You don't want to go and try to help them later on.
Oh no, I didn't look very far. I mean, I basically left the venue, looked to the left and right, and said, "Oh, I don't see them." I mean, the girl was pretty much limp. Cab drivers in Japan do not. First of all, they don't pick up white people very often anyway. They're definitely not going to pick up a vomit-soaked limp person. So I don't know how they got where they were going, but it definitely wasn't by cab.
Aye.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened.
So what else happened next? What happened next? Let me stick it.
Japan's just a fun place. I went to a sneaker store and I saw these sneakers I liked, and they're like, "You want to buy these?" I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Do you want a discount?" I said, "Sure." They're like, "You have to play a game." So I was like, "Okay, let's play a game." So they walked me.
They chopped off your finger.
They walked me up to the third floor, and there's this mini soccer court, and there's this wall with all these squares, and different ones lit up, and I had to kick the soccer ball into the squares before a timer ran out. It was this whole massive thing just to get a 10% discount.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of stuff in Japan is just really fun. So I mean, I realized how bad I was at soccer.
I would play soccer versus signing up for a credit card to get a 10% discount.
Yeah, exactly. Or just handing you a coupon. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So
how'd you do? You get the discount?
Oh, I did terrible. I think I got triple the time they wanted, but they felt so bad they gave me the discount anyway. the guy, I was doing so bad. The guy, he didn't know much English, but he was like, "Fight." He's trying to tell me to keep going.
Go, big white boy. Go, big white boy.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened. Yeah, the rest was just sightseeing. I went to the best sushi place I've ever been to. I went to an owl cafe. I got to hang out with a bunch of owls.
Oh, okay. That was like it sounded.
Yeah.
What exactly? Describe.
You go to a cafe, you can get like tea or whatever, read a book, and then there's an owl room, and there's like 15 different owls, and you go in there and they introduce you to each one, and they tell you their name, and they tell you like where you can touch them, because like, well, no, like some owls like you can pet on the head, but some you can't, like, touch, like, this one, like this one you could pat on the back, or this one doesn't like this, because they don't want you, the owl's freaking out and pecking the shit out of you.
It just sounds creepy. This is where you could touch them.
I mean, almost every single one was either like the head or the back. Like they're like never touch an owl's stomach. And then there was this like really big, mean-looking owl, and she's like, "Yeah, don't go near that one. That one's not a nice owl." I was like, "Okay."
Did you touch the owls?
I did. I touched a couple owls. I fed. You could pay an extra $1 or $2 and like feed the owls. So I fed the owls.
What do owls eat?
It was like raw meat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was like a pheasant meat or something. It was some raw meat they gave me.
Oh, okay. Maybe should we start an owl bar here? Would that be a popular thing?
I think it might be. They have a whole bunch of different animal ones. I did the cat one last time. They have a dog one. They have hedgehog one, and a sea otter one.
A sea otter one?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I kind of wanted to check that one out, but ran out of time. Yeah, I think there's definitely a market for that. 'Cause Japan, the apartments are really, really small, so I think not a lot of Japanese people have pets. So like these cafes are like your chance to like hang out with animals, and so I think there's I could see there being a market for the different ones in Manhattan. Like the owl or the sea otter or the hedgehog. I think that there would be a market for that.
Okay. We have idea 2 for us making millions of dollars.
I think they started opening up cat cafes in Manhattan, so there's definitely a market for those kind of things.
Okay. Maybe should we go to the cat cafe and see how it goes? Like, if there's one here, should we check out how it's doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Do a little recon mission.
Yeah, live brink from the cat bar.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, where?
There's one in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Of course, Williamsburg. One on the Lower East Side, on Rivington, and one downtown on Hester Street.
Okay. Okay, recon mission. We're doing this.
Bri, you want to drive down from Connecticut and go to a cat cafe?
I think I'll let you guys check it out first.
Are we by the way? Are we doing a Met game?
Sure, yeah, one of these years.
Jay, you have no more excuses.
No, I'm out of excuses, so I guess I got to go now.
Okay.
Actually, I think there's a lot of cat cafes.
What about instead of cats, we do rats?
With the bubonic plague?
Yeah.
Just take out half of Manhattan.
I mean, I guess that's the thing. Maybe so. We'll. But I bet there are no owl cafes, so we will. Where do we buy owls?
I'm not sure. I don't think they're on Amazon.
Okay, well then I'm out of ideas.
eBay, probably. You can get anything on eBay.
The dark web to get owls.
Craigslist.
We had some questions from Andrew. Do you want to hear the questions?
Sure.
Jay, how was the robot restaurant?
Well,
he already answered that.
Yeah. The show was the first 3 quarters of the show was really good. The last quarter of it was kind of a mess.
Because of the puke on the floor, probably.
It just made no sense. They started off like the first thing kind of had a loose story about how it was basically the plot of Terminator. How about robots took over and the humans are fighting back and blah blah blah. And the last like 20 minutes was like messages about how we have to stop racism, and they started singing Michael Jackson songs, and then right in the middle they just said fish fight, and then these robot fishes came out, and they like it was insane. It made no sense. So that was the robot
Andrew,
cafe.
Andrew writes, did Jay's Airbnb in Tokyo clearly Andrew was following your trip closely. Did Jay's Airbnb in Tokyo that had mold in it make him feel like he was at home and made him feel safe?
No, because that was pink mold. I'm used to the black mold.
It's fair. It's a good point.
I'm not used to the
Yeah.
pink mold.
Andrew also writes, when are you starting your new website? Jay loves Asian snacks from 7-Eleven.com.
I did bring home a lot of different Kit Kat flavors again.
Yeah, that I feel like that also would do better than your current site.
And they have a lot of different Oreo thin flavors. I got like a tiramisu Oreo.
I feel like, again, this would be a really good site, Jay, if you just went to other countries and reviewed snacks they had in other countries.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably do better than my music site.
Yeah, why were you doing this while you were there?
I mean, I was posting pictures of it. I got a Pringles mystery flavor. It just has a question mark on it.
What was the flavor?
It tasted like a mix between the sweet chili flavor and the shrimp flavor. It was pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure I'm much more interested in hearing about this review of this mystery Pringles thing than your review of an album like the Weezer album that came out 25 years ago.
Mm.
Fair
Do we have
point.
any? Do we have any emails?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, you have them up.
Lorenzo writes, just to even out the baseball chat, what is latest in the world of video games? I'm really tempted to buy a Switch, but I have a PS4 and hardly touch that, so I feel my wife would lose her mind. Do you think it's worth it? Also, if you're into virtual reality, would you go for the PS4 system or one of the other ones out there? All right, I won't spend too much time on this just to keep you guys sanity. Virtual reality PS4. If you're not playing the PS4, I probably wouldn't get a Switch. There's not that many games unless you only play on the go. And
I thought the Switch was Nintendo.
it is. But it's like portable. So like unless you play games on the go, there's no point in getting a Switch. Like
Okay.
because if you're sitting at home, like the PlayStation has much better games.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The Switch has like 2 or 3. It's not worth getting. I know some people play on the subway or like who don't get stuck working at work all the time. I have one coworker who doesn't have to work all the time, and he just like whips out the Switch and starts playing games.
Yeah.
And they announced the PlayStation 5. They don't know when yet. Of course, they announced it because I just got the PlayStation 4. So,
I mean, but you kind of knew PlayStation 5 was coming out because that's the next number.
yeah. I was hoping it would be a little more down the road.
Okay.
Because I'm just catching up on all the games, and now they said another one's coming out. But I think it's still going to be another year or two for that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have any more specific questions, let me know.
Did you play any video games in Thailand or Japan?
No, the whole Airbnb thing kind of fucked us because neither of us slept that night, and then we spent the whole next morning looking for hotels and checking in. So like we lost, like half of the next day, and we were dragging ass because we had no sleep. So we had to cross some things off the list. They had like an entire virtual reality arcade that I wanted to go to.
That sounds pretty. That's what I was guessing. I was guessing there'd be some kind of cool video game stuff in Tokyo.
Yeah, it was like an entire thing in virtual reality. So I'll have to do that next time. I really wanted to check that out.
When you go back next year and then we complain like, I didn't know it'd be hot in Thailand.
I'm never going in May again. I made that very, very clear.
Didn't you go in May the year before?
Yeah, like I said, it hit 104, which sucked, but it was like manageable. The 118 was like out of control.
Okay.
104 was like the coolest day there.
Oh my god.
We were talking about next shows to watch, but actually like follow it on the podcast to get listeners.
Oh, okay.
And Peter said Doom Patrol.
Okay. Well, what's that?
It is a DC superhero show, but you have to have the DC streaming service. So
Of course, another streaming service to buy. Of course, why not?
yeah, and there is a Watchmen prequel show coming out on HBO.
Oh, is that the prequel show?
Yeah, I believe it is. I think it is.
Okay. I know what you're talking. I've seen like the previews for Watchmen. I didn't realize it was like a prequel.
I'm not sure
looks-
because they came out with prequel comics, but I'm not sure if the show is a prequel.
Okay.
That I would be interested in watching.
Okay. When's that come out?
I think it's coming out in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we had a show that was Game of Thrones-esque that we could like comment on every week. Because Jay does not want to do my Game of Thrones break episode, so I need a new show.
So they're just saying it's based on the comics, so they're not saying if it's a prequel or sequel or whatever. They came out with prequel comics, but I don't know if it's based on that or not. So there's really not any information on like what the plot's going to be or anything yet. So
Okay.
it could be a big one. I don't think it's going to be Game of Thrones big, but it could be big.
I gotta say, I'm losing steam here.
Yeah, me too.
Bri, you still alive?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I had one more quick thing I wanted to cover. You remember, Jay, maybe this was you were gone for this, but Bri, did you remember when Robert Mueller spoke? Mueller, whatever, spoke?
Yeah.
pretty recently?
Yeah.
So he spoke, and I was reading an article in the Times that recapped what he said. Basically, he said my report was my testimony and blah blah blah, and I'm done talking.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I looked in the New York Times comments section, and like just reading some people's comments. I always find it interesting sometimes what people write. But one guy wrote, he goes, "For this, I stayed home from work. Never have so many words said so little." Can you imagine you call your boss and you're like, "Hey, Robert Mueller's he's gonna speak today. I can't come in."
It was like a spontaneous thing too, wasn't it? It wasn't a planned thing.
It was announced like an hour or two beforehand.
Yeah. So
But
somebody's
As if this guy was like, if Mueller says the right stuff, I can impeach Trump myself. I'm going to take action I need to be home for this.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like,
yeah.
or you could just like go to Google like 10 minutes after he speaks and.
Yeah, it was so important that you watched this. You couldn't even like somehow watch it at work. You had to like stay at home from work.
That's a little much.
Maybe that wasn't Lindsey Graham, was it?
Yeah, it actually was Lindsey Graham. You're right. There you go. At least that would have made a little more sense if it was Lindsey Graham. But I saw that I was like, what the fuck's wrong with people? You're staying home?
Yeah, it's a little excessive.
Yeah. What did we learn today?
We learned not to go on vacation with Jay.
Holy shit! How does your girlfriend do this with you?
She's probably oblivious to the whole thing.
She said it's like traveling with a little kid.
I mean, like everything goes wrong because of you. I mean, no offense, but
Oh, did I mention that TSA got called on me?
Oh no! What? Why?
On the way back from Tokyo to New York, they, for some reason, did not know what the CPAP machine was.
Oh.
So they were opening it and looking at it and then like calling other people over. And after like a half hour, I turn around, like a TSA guy's behind me and start asking me all sorts of questions.
Sir, we observed you from the first flight. If it was for sleep, you didn't use it for the whole first flight.
Yeah. So, yeah, he just asked me a couple questions. I don't know what he was looking for, but whatever answers I gave him, I guess, satisfied him because then he went away. But I just thought you guys would find it funny that TSA got called on me too.
Oh,
yeah, of course. The kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I mean, I once had TSA take a half hour to figure out what an inflatable mattress was.
That's great.
Yeah, they just like had to study this thing. I'm like, it's an inflatable mattress. This is not like. But
yeah, I mean, it. I'm sure they've seen them before. I'm sure you're not the only one who's brought one.
Right, yeah.
What if you got to the plane and like everyone on the plane was using a CPAP machine?
I'd be like, I'm here. I'm home.
Yeah,
This is gonna be
that'd be
a
like
great
your
flight.
heaven.
It would have been nice to see like one other person.
And then they use so much power that the engine failed.
Actually, you'd be like, sir, but how did you get the USB? There's a plug. No.
I can't believe there's a plug under my seat the whole time. 37 hours I was awake.
I can't believe you fucking couldn't like. So you were just like on the like. How did you just not doze off? Like, did you randomly keep dozing off and waking up?
Well, anytime I dozed off, I would like instantly snap back awake.
How are you so stressed out on vacation that you think this like you can't sleep?
It's the apnea. It's physically like stop breathing.
No, I understand, but you said like it comes and goes with stress, and you're so stressed out even on vacation that the apnea is at its peak.
Well, it was at the very beginning of the vacation, and I was shitting myself all the night before, so I was on 3 hours sleep.
I can't. It's hard to sleep on a plane. Those seats aren't comfortable. It's not. Plus, I can't sleep like on my back. Not that I'm laying down in a plane seat, but
Yeah, that too. I mean, unless you're flying, business class or first, like Mark, it's very uncomfortable seats.
I would agree. Like the plane flights are pretty hard. I would have drugged myself basically. I would have just brought like a Tylenol PM or something.
Like my back was starting to hurt like hour 1, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I have another 12 hours of this.
Yeah, that's a long flight. Like no matter, even if you could sleep normally, that's still a pretty brutal flight.
yeah.
It's also weird on the way home because I left at 10:45 a.m. and 12 and a half hours later, I arrived at 11:15 a.m. So
That's
it's
weird too.
Yeah, it's like the same exact time, only I went through an entire day.
Yeah.
Would you trade that one day for $88 billion?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I think we all have to go to bed now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Why did we start the show so late, Jay? I'm tired.
It's 10 minutes. Okay, everyone chip into our Patreon, Brink of Sanity. We can buy Mark's kids a PlayStation, and then we could do the show at 7 p.m. while they're playing PlayStation. And then we'll have a lot more energy.
Okay.
All right. Mark's like, even if I have a PlayStation, I'm not even trying it.
Jay does not understand any of this, but fine. Jay believes raising kids means here's a PlayStation, graduate high school.
It worked for me. All right. We'll be back soon.
I also told Jay and Brian my new plan now is to convince their girlfriends to adopt a 5-year-old child without telling them.
I'll babysit my girlfriend's kids who are 7 and 5, and I'll make them play PlayStation for an hour, and I'll show you. I'll FaceTime you while they're playing PlayStation.
How about Brian and I do the show and you just come watch my kids?
You guys can't figure out how to do the show.
It's true.
I'll come over, and then I'll bring my PlayStation, and they can play it, and then we'll do the podcast.
Did you see there was a thing I read the other day, like a few months ago now, that people who want to rent apartments in New York City want to make sure that there's like a soundproof studio so that they can do podcasts from.
Oh my god!
What?
It's like a new requirement. Like when people are going like apartment shopping, they want like a soundproof room or like studio.
To record music or
No, to do podcasts.
Because of the acoustics, like when we talk, our voices echo off the walls, and
So that you can't hear Mark's kids in the other room.
wow.
Yeah, I think those people need to get over themselves.
Yeah.
As long as
Okay, that's weird.
as long as your podcast doesn't sound like, like we've had guests where you hear like cars honking and like traffic in the background, but like, I don't think our show sounds that bad that we would need any of that stuff.
I mean, if you're, I guess, really popular, what? Like, why do you need to like get this? Whatever. Okay.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away.
alone. Feels so good to